Hi and welcome back to a new video. Today's video is going to be a book haul. I've been buying some books in February, and now when every book has arrived, I'm gonna show you all the books that I bought recently, so let's do it. So for this year I have a goal in my reading that I will read more English books or original language. Like if the author is English, I'm going to read in English. So that's my plan. I'm living in Sweden and I want to, I can read in English, that's no problem for me, so I wanna challenge myself. So in this book haul we have both Swedish books and English books, of course. So I'm going to show you them now. In February it was an annual in Sweden where you could buy books for even cheaper price. So some of the books are from the annual and some are not. So let's jump right in. So the first book that I actually bought on annual is this one. I've seen this a lot on booktube, and I've been wanting to read this for a while, and I think the cover is really beautiful. So it's a dystopian book, and I love dystopian books, so why not? So this I bought, and I thought it was like a much bigger book, but the book is only 200 pages, so let's So the next book I bought was not on annual, but I bought this in a very cheap price anyway. The Strangers by C.L. Taylor. I've been reading Sleep by the same author, and I love that book, so I want to read more of her, so I bought Strangers. It came out 2020 maybe. So yeah, I'm gonna read it hopefully soon. Yeah. Next book that I bought were The Mercies. This I've also seen. I think the cover to this book is so beautiful. The cover to it is really beautiful. On Christmas Eve 1917, the sea around the remote Norwegian island of Vardo is thrown in a reckless storm. As a marine, Magnus' daughter watches 40 fishermen, including her father and brother, are lost to the waves of the menfolk, wiped out in the instant. So when I read about this on the blog, I think I wanted to read it. So when I saw it on the annual, I just bought it because I wanted to read it. Next, now we're going into the Swedish books, and I would say that this is a Swedish author, Tobias Söderlund, Prästgårdens hemligheter. This is the first book in a series, a trilogy, We just heard it should be good, so I bought it on Amazon. Next, I bought from a friend of mine here on BookTube. Sweden doesn't have a lot of horror authors, but one of the authors that do write horror is Jan Ajvide Lindqvist. This book is translated into English and it calls I Am Behind You. Well, I have it in Swedish. For me, I'm living in Sweden, so I should just read it in Swedish. But if you're living in like other countries and you want to read it, the book is translated into English and it's called I Am Behind You. So I've read this before. I actually borrowed it from my library a few years ago, I think in 2018 maybe. And I don't know why, but I did not finish it. But I wanted to give it a try, and hopefully I will like it this time. Next book that I also bought is from the same author, Jan Ajvide Lindqvist. This book is also translated into English. It's called Little Star. This book I have not read, so I don't know anything about it. I've just seen it, and I would like to read more of his books because I've read some of his books and I really like them. So, you know, I like horror and he's a Swedish author who writes horror, so why not? And if you want to read it and doesn't live in Sweden and you don't understand Swedish, these books are translated into English. This is called The Little Star. Little Star, I think. And this is called I Am Behind You. So these two are translated, and you can read them too if you want. If you want to read from a Swedish author. So the next book and the last book that I'm going to show you, I do not know if it's translated into English, but I'm just going to show you. This is a thriller. I would say it's the capable of a Swedish author. It's a thriller, so I've seen this too on BookTube, Swedish BookTube, and I think I might like it. And the last book that I'm going to show you, I also bought, not on annual, but yeah. The last book is The Island of Seal Taylor. Like I said, I want to read more of her books because I've read this book Sleep by her and I really enjoyed it and loved it. So I bought The Strangers and The Island of the same author, and I really can't wait to read more of her books. Yeah, like I said, so it's like maybe 4 English books and 4 Swedish books. So I bought 8 books in the last month. So thank you so much for watching. So that was all the books that I've been buying in the last month, and I will say I'm really intrigued by all the books. I feel like I want to read